Denny Patterson, Instinct Magazine. Hi, Pam. Hi, Mona. How are you both doing today?
Good,
Good,
Denny.
how
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
So tell me, how excited are you for number one Happy Family USA to premiere on Prime Video?
I am thrilled. We've been working on this for like 4.5 years. So the fact it's
Mhm.
sort of surreal, all of a sudden it's like this thing that's so personal. And we kind of worked on it on Zoom because it was all during the pandemic. Now all
Yeah.
of a sudden gets out in the world and it's sort of like, okay, okay.
Like it's
It's really exciting.
yes, it's
Yeah.
finally here. We can't wait to see it. I mean, yeah, and this series takes on the heavy topic of post 9/11 surveillance and Islamophobia through absurd humor. What were some of the challenges or responsibilities you felt in balancing satire with cultural sensitivity?
Mm. Cultural sensitivity. Whenever the questions are too hard, I just do. I'm a smarter, so I go,
No, I don't know. I think I was so inexperienced to this world of animation that I really, really felt so privileged to be with someone who had so much experience. So I really, really just trusted Pam's lead. So also, if anything is wrong, it's all on Pam.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll dox myself. I'll
Um,
put my address online.
no, there was so much trust that was there, and I think I really, really did want to do justice to this period, and I feel really, really confident that we have. There was a level of care and sensitivity that
Mhm.
went into the show, into the designs, into every single element of it. That I think that love allows you to get really, really silly when you've put in all of that thoughtfulness. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
Perfect.
that's true. And we were true to the characters. That's where we started.
yes.
And we really spent a long, long time on this family and sort of what they were about, what they cared about, what are their dreams. Like we really didn't just make them placeholders for our jokes. We
Mhm.
really
Exactly.
wanted to make them real. And I feel like the stories came out of the characters,
Gotcha.
which, I think when
Mhm.
that happens, you're on a good path.
Exactly. I agree. And Pam, as a veteran in adult animation, how did working on this series compare to your past projects like South Park or Lady Dynamite? What drew you to the specific story?
Well, it's like both of the shows, South Park and Lady Dynamite. What was so fun is that, like, especially with Maria Bamford, we would have a writer's room and she would kind of come into the room and tell us her real life stories. Like
Mhm.
she'd be like, when I was 12, my dad would take me to Dale Carnegie classes at the airport with all these other middle-aged men because he had no friends. And we're like, wait, 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 what? And so what was so fun about that is like, oh, we can do a story about that. So that she would tell us the real story. We would like sort of riff on it and do some weird stuff. And then we'd pitch it back to her. And then
Mhm.
she would, so it was this feedback loop. And I think in a lot of ways, I mean, Ramy brought, it's not his real, family, it's based on his family, but he would bring a lot of his experiences to the writer's room and we would riff on that. And
Yeah.
and it's also like South Park in the sense that what people sometimes don't realize about South Park is that even though it is insane and it really pushes the limits, it's about four friends.
Hmm.
And if it didn't exist on that level, nothing else would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mhm.
So it's sort of a mix of those.
Awesome. Perfect. And Mona, your background is in data journalism and visual storytelling. How did your unique lens inform your approach to executive produce a show like this?
Yeah, I was, a lot of research went into understanding the era better, understanding what things looked like back then, what the fashion was, what the buildings looked like, what
Mhm.
people would have been watching on TV. Pam was talking earlier about, the fact that like Britney Spears was asked on national television at what age she lost her virginity. I would hope to God that wouldn't happen now, you know. And I think that is actually like that kind of groundedness hopefully again allowed us to get really, really silly because it feels like it's true to the era.
Yeah.
um yeah, so I would say that some of those skills hopefully came in a little bit. Yeah.
Definitely. And this show's, well, excuse me, this show's voice cast is stacked with comedy icons and
Oh
award-winning
yeah.
talent. How did you approach casting, and were any characters written with specific performers in mind?
Mm.
Oh, I think so many, right? So Alia Shawkat, we 100% wrote Mona for Alia. I think it helps a lot when you have Ramy Youssef reaching out to you know what our secret weapon is here, Denny? Ramy calls people.
Rami calls people, there you
Ramy
go.
calls Kieran, and guess what? Yes. It makes it a lot, casting a lot easier.
Definitely, definitely. Now, and the Hussein family is both exaggerated and deeply human. What were some of the key values or identities you wanted to portray through them?
Well, I mean, I think like off the top of my head, it's just it really is the struggle to, have like being a hustling immigrant family and making ends meet. I mean, Ramy makes the joke of like the show is actually about capitalism. It's about sort of forces, it's like, oh, this guy, poor Hussein is trying, he's a doctor back in Egypt. He's got a halal cart here. He's trying
Mhm.
to make ends meet. So that's how his son wants a Bulls jersey, but he got him a Balls jersey. And that's, so we all do what we can to sort of get by. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ideally without abandoning your values too much, which is really hard, right? Like
Yeah, exactly.
the family does some fucked up shit, but they're not fucked up people, you know? Like they're ultimately like a sweet, loving family, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. And the show's message feels timely despite being rooted in a specific historical moment like 9/11. What conversations or reactions are you hoping it sparks in today's cultural climate?
I mean, honestly, I hope people look at this and go, this is just a funny family.
Mhm.
And it's not like, oh, it's a Muslim family. It's like, oh, that's so radical. And it shouldn't be radical. These guys are from New Jersey. It's sort of like, and I think it was written in such a specific way for the characters that we could all see our relatives in it. You
Mhm.
know, we were just talking and my grandparents are Italian and I saw so much of like them in sort of in the grandma character who's sort of a culture vulture, loves television. You know what I mean? So I think we all bring our own experiences to it. So I just hope that like it won't seem like a big deal that this is an
Yeah.
Egyptian family in New Jersey. That would be my hope from it.
Mhm. Perfect. Mona?
Yeah. I think one of the things that's quite powerful about the show is a lot of the context that exists around this family is still the case today. We're still having big conversations about surveillance, about racism. And so I think the show it does still feel timely in that and I don't think, by the way, I don't think it's trying to put out a specific message about any of that stuff. I think it's just simply true that the world that family exists in is still very much relevant today.
Definitely, I agree. Pam,
Mm.
Mona, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. You too.
Oh, thank you,
Thank you,
Denny.
Danny.
Thank you.
Thanks.